You're making a simple mistake before bed, and it's forcing your body to wake you up night after night. This quiet habit is silently sabotaging your sleep, draining your energy, and putting your health at risk. But once you understand what's really happening, you'll know exactly how to break the cycle naturally. Have you ever found yourself waking up in the middle of the night, seemingly for no reason, only to realize you urgently need to use the bathroom? If that's been happening to you more often than you'd like to admit, you're not alone. But what if I told you that the reason behind it may not be what you think? There's a very specific mistake that many of us are making, one that's quietly forcing our bodies to break sleep cycles and disturb the restorative rest we so badly need. And here's something important. I'll be sharing a bonus tip at the end of this video. It's a natural method that very few people know about, one that can amplify your results and restore your peaceful nights. It's simple, accessible, and completely safe when done right. So be sure to stay with me until the end, because this one insight could change everything about your bedtime routine. Now, back to the issue at hand. When we wake up during the night to urinate, it's not just a matter of inconvenience. Over time, this disruption chips away at the deeper phases of sleep, especially REM and slow-wave sleep, both essential for memory, mood balance, and hormonal regulation. It might start with a few groggy mornings, but over weeks and months, this seemingly small issue can evolve into chronic fatigue, emotional instability, and even weakened immunity. Here's where it gets more concerning. Most people assume that nighttime urination is just part of getting older, or a side effect of drinking too much water too late. While hydration timing can play a role, it's far from the full picture. There's a deeper cause that most people are missing entirely. And it's this misunderstanding that keeps the cycle going night after night. What's even more surprising is that this common nighttime disturbance may be linked not to your bladder, but to what you're doing in the hours before bed. A single habit, a small detail that seems harmless, even healthy, but it's silently signaling your body to stay alert, process more fluids, and interrupt your sleep. And no, this isn't about how much you're drinking before bed. It's about what you're consuming and how your body responds to it. This isn't something you'll usually hear at the doctor's office, and it's not printed on food labels. But once you learn what's behind this biological misfire, you'll realize just how avoidable it truly is. More than just sleep disruption, this mistake is putting your body in a nightly state of overdrive. Your kidneys are forced to work harder, your nervous system remains semi-alert, and your hormone levels, especially the ones that regulate fluid balance and rest, start to shift in unhealthy directions. And over time, those repeated wake-ups could be taking more than just your rest. They could be setting the stage for much larger imbalances. But here's the good news. Once you recognize this pattern and make just a few adjustments, your body has an incredible ability to restore its rhythm. And while we're just getting started, by the time we reach the final tip, you'll have a full set of natural strategies to help you sleep through the night without interruptions and wake up truly refreshed. Just a reminder, stick with me until the end for that bonus method I mentioned earlier. It's something you can start using today to support your bladder health and balance your sleep cycle naturally. You won't want to miss it. And now, get ready, because what you're about to discover next is one of the biggest myths people still believe. Most of us have been blaming the wrong culprit all along. Ignoring what comes next won't just slow down your progress. It could actually make your situation worse over time, even if your intentions are good. Let's fix that together. For years, we've been told that drinking water too late at night is the reason we wake up needing to use the bathroom. It sounds logical, doesn't it? After all, more fluid means more urine. So naturally, if we cut back on water before bed, we'll sleep through the night. But what if that advice, as well-intentioned as it is missing something crucial? The truth is, water alone is rarely the true cause of nighttime urination. In fact, restricting water too much in the evening can lead to dehydration, which not only disrupts your sleep, but can also increase your risk of headaches, muscle cramps, and poor cognitive function. Your body needs hydration. The real question isn't how much water you're drinking, but what's happening in your body that's making you eliminate it so urgently while you sleep. The real issue? A subtle imbalance in your evening habits that's forcing your kidneys to filter faster than they should. Certain foods, additives, and even medications can increase the rate at which your body produces urine. And some of the most common triggers are hiding in plain sight on the average dinner plate. Think about a typical American dinner: a slice of pepperoni pizza, maybe a few chips, or a serving of canned soup or takeout. While it might seem satisfying, this kind of meal is often packed with sodium. High levels of sodium don't just affect your blood pressure, they also change the way your kidneys manage fluids. To deal with the excess salt, your body retains water for a few hours and then flushes it out, often right when you're trying to sleep. This delayed reaction explains why some people feel fine going to bed, only to wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. with a strong urge to urinate. It's not the glass of water you had. It's the salty meal hours earlier that's finally catching up to you. Here's another hidden player: sugar. Excessive sugar intake can trigger an increase in urine production by drawing water into your kidneys through a process called osmotic diuresis. And if you're someone who enjoys a sweet dessert, soda, or even certain sauces with high fructose corn syrup before bed, your body may be working overtime while you sleep just to process it all. What's worse is that this cycle becomes self-reinforcing. The less you sleep, the more stress your body endures. And that stress affects your hormonal balance, especially the antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, which is supposed to reduce urine production at night. When ADH levels drop, the bladder becomes more active. So even if you do everything else right, the wrong combination of food in the evening can send your entire system into a loop of wakefulness. But don't worry, this is something you can fix. The first step is awareness. By simply reducing sodium-heavy foods at dinner and avoiding refined sugars in your evening meals, you can dramatically ease the pressure on your kidneys. Your body will begin to recalibrate naturally, and you may find yourself sleeping through the night without even realizing the change. Remember, it's not about avoiding water. It's about supporting your body's natural rhythm with the right inputs at the right times. Proper hydration, when combined with a more mindful dinner, sets the stage for a calm, uninterrupted night. And the best part? This change isn't difficult. You don't need supplements or complex routines, just a little planning and consistency. Still, one major factor is being overlooked by most people trying to fix their sleep. It's not about food or drink, but a chemical combination many of us consume daily that quietly disrupts the bladder in ways we never suspected. Ignoring the next piece of this puzzle won't just reduce your chances of success. It might even increase nighttime symptoms you thought were unrelated. Let's make sure you don't fall into that trap. Now that we understand how salty and sugary evening meals can silently disrupt your sleep by forcing your body into overdrive, it's time to look even closer at what's actually on our plates. Because here's something that might surprise you. It's not just the salt or sugar itself. It's often the types of foods we choose and how they're prepared that are creating this hidden imbalance. Let's take a moment to consider a typical late dinner or even a casual snack after a long day. Maybe it's a frozen dinner, some takeout from your favorite spot, or a quick sandwich made with deli meats and cheese. These might seem like harmless conveniences, but the real danger lies in their hidden content, namely the additives and preservatives used to enhance flavor, extend shelf life, and make the food more appealing. One of the biggest culprits? Sodium phosphate. It's a common additive in processed meats like ham, bacon, turkey slices, and hot dogs. And while it may not mean much to you at first glance, sodium phosphate has a strong diuretic effect in the body. That means it can trigger your kidneys to produce more urine, especially in the hours following consumption. And it doesn't stop there. Other ingredients like monosodium glutamate, MSG, found in many sauces, seasonings, and savory snacks, can also affect fluid retention and sleep regulation by exciting the nervous system. When the nervous system is even slightly overstimulated in the evening, it interferes with your body's ability to enter the deep, slow-wave sleep that is critical for physical recovery. Your bladder becomes more sensitive, your kidneys become more active, and your sleep becomes lighter. Now think about the typical American dinner again. A cheeseburger with fries, a side of pickle, and a soda. That one meal can contain more than the recommended daily intake of sodium, and not just from the salt shaker. Most of it comes from processed sauces, cheeses, cured meats, and fried items. When meals like this are consumed late, they create a delayed reaction in the body. Initially, you feel satisfied, but as your system begins to process these ingredients, your kidneys are pushed into high gear to balance out the excess sodium and chemicals. And unfortunately, that peak in activity often hits right around the middle of the night. Even healthier options can hide problems. Prepackaged salads, dressings, or frozen health meals often come with high sodium content or sugar-based preservatives to maintain flavor. And unless you're preparing your meals fresh with whole, minimally processed ingredients, your body could be caught in a nightly loop of disruption without you even realizing it. But here's the turning point. You don't need to give up everything you enjoy. This isn't about restriction, it's about awareness and timing. By shifting heavier or processed meals to lunchtime and keeping your evening meals light, fresh, and rich in hydration-supporting nutrients, you allow your body to wind down properly. Lean proteins, steamed vegetables, and foods rich in potassium, like sweet potatoes, avocados, or leafy greens, help balance the effects of sodium and support fluid balance naturally. Taking control of your plate in the evening is one of the most powerful changes you can make. When your kidneys aren't battling hidden chemicals late at night, your bladder stays calm and your sleep deepens. You wake up more refreshed, with better mental clarity and more consistent energy throughout the day. But even with all these changes, there's another hidden force at play. One that isn't always in your food, but often in what you drink or snack on, thinking it's healthy or harmless. And if you overlook it, you might find yourself right back in the same cycle, despite your best efforts. So stay with me, because what comes next is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. Ignoring it won't just delay your progress. It may undo everything you've tried so far, and no one deserves that when the solution is right within reach. You've already seen how late-night meals packed with salt, sugar, and hidden additives can quietly disrupt your sleep. But there's another factor most people never think to examine, and it might be hiding in your favorite after-dinner drinks, desserts, or even your healthy snacks. It's a group of substances we often consider harmless or even beneficial, but in reality, they could be quietly irritating your bladder and overactivating your nervous system while you sleep. Let's talk about two of the biggest culprits: artificial sweeteners and caffeine. On their own, they're already controversial. But when it comes to sleep quality and nighttime bathroom visits, their impact is more direct than most realize. Artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, are commonly found in sugar-free products, diet sodas, low-calorie desserts, protein bars, flavored waters, and even some chewing gums. The idea is that they help reduce calorie intake without the sugar crash. But here's what many people don't know. These compounds can act as bladder irritants, especially when consumed in the evening. When your bladder lining becomes irritated, it becomes more sensitive to smaller volumes of urine. That means your urge to urinate is triggered much sooner than it should be, waking you from sleep unnecessarily. Over time, this irritation can become chronic, making the bladder even more reactive and disrupting your rest on a consistent basis, even when you think you've done everything else right. Now layer caffeine into the mix. Everyone knows caffeine is a stimulant, but its half-life in the body can stretch to 5 or 6 hours, or more, depending on your metabolism. That means even if you drink a cup of coffee at 3 p.m., a significant portion of that caffeine may still be in your system when you're trying to fall asleep at 10. But it's not just coffee. Caffeine hides in more places than we expect. Dark chocolate, green or black teas, energy drinks, certain pain medications, pre-workout formulas, and soda. Even the decaffeinated versions often still contain trace amounts. And when consumed alongside artificial sweeteners, their combined effects can be even more disruptive. Caffeine not only keeps your brain more alert, it also stimulates your kidneys and increases urine production. And unlike natural sleep signals that slow your system down, caffeine keeps your body working even when you lie in bed. Add that to the bladder irritation from sweeteners, and it's easy to see why so many people find themselves awake at night, even if their dinner seemed light or healthy. This is especially tricky because many evening snacks marketed as healthy alternatives, like sugar-free pudding, protein shakes, or keto-friendly treats, contain some combination of these ingredients. They may seem like a better option than traditional desserts, but they could be sabotaging your body's attempt to wind down. But there's good news. Once you identify these triggers, you can remove them, or at least time them better, without giving up flavor or enjoyment. Try swapping artificial sweeteners for natural ones like stevia or monk fruit, but still in moderation. And consider cutting off caffeine by early afternoon to give your body time to fully process it before bed. Instead of caffeinated or artificially sweetened options, go for herbal teas like chamomile, lemon balm, or rooibos, which are naturally calming and support hydration. Light snacks like a small banana or a few slices of avocado can satisfy cravings while promoting bladder and nervous system balance. Making these small shifts can lead to noticeable changes in your sleep pattern and bathroom habits. You may even find that your body begins to reclaim its natural rhythm within just a few days. And the longer you keep these habits, the stronger your sleep cycle becomes. Still, even with cleaner meals, fewer additives, and caffeine under control, something even more essential might be missing from your routine. Something your body needs to regulate bladder activity and calm your system at night. Without it, progress can stall or even reverse. That's why the next step is absolutely vital. Missing it could not only slow your results, but potentially lead to unintended health consequences over time, even with the best intentions. Even when you've done everything right, cut the salt, reduced sugar, avoided late caffeine, and eliminated bladder irritants, your sleep can still be disturbed if your body is missing one key element: magnesium. This often overlooked mineral plays a crucial role in muscle relaxation, nerve function, and fluid balance, all of which are directly connected to your ability to sleep soundly through the night without unnecessary interruptions. Magnesium is essential for calming the nervous system. It helps regulate GABA, a neurotransmitter responsible for slowing brain activity and encouraging relaxation. When magnesium levels are too low, the nervous system can become overstimulated, making it harder for your body to transition into deep sleep and stay there. And that's not all. It also affects the detrusor muscle, the muscle in your bladder that controls when and how you urinate. If this muscle is overactive due to a lack of magnesium, it can create frequent urges to urinate, even when the bladder isn't full. This means that a deficiency in magnesium can cause your bladder to signal the brain unnecessarily, interrupting your sleep and contributing to a cycle that feels frustrating and difficult to break. So why is magnesium deficiency so common? Modern diets, particularly in North America, often rely heavily on processed and packaged foods that have been stripped of their natural mineral content. At the same time, daily stress, caffeine intake, and certain medications like diuretics or proton pump inhibitors can further deplete magnesium stores in the body. And even those who try to eat healthily may fall short if they aren't choosing the right kinds of whole foods. The good news is that increasing your magnesium intake is both natural and effective, and it doesn't require extreme changes. You can start by incorporating magnesium-rich foods into your diet, particularly in your evening meals. Great options include leafy greens like spinach and kale, seeds like pumpkin and chia, nuts such as almonds and cashews, legumes like black beans, and even dark chocolate, though the latter should be enjoyed earlier in the day due to its caffeine content. For those who need a little more help, natural magnesium supplements can be a powerful addition, but it's important to choose the right form. Magnesium glycinate is one of the most bioavailable and gentle options, especially at night. It supports relaxation without irritating the digestive system. On the other hand, magnesium citrate has a mild laxative effect and is best used in the morning. One particularly effective and simple remedy is magnesium water. It can be made by dissolving a measured amount of magnesium chloride flakes or powder in filtered water. Sipping this throughout the day, especially earlier in the day, can gradually replenish your levels and support your body's ability to stay calm and balanced by bedtime. Always consult with a healthcare provider before starting supplementation, especially if you have kidney conditions or take medication. In addition to physical benefits, restoring magnesium balance can have a noticeable effect on your mental state. People often report feeling more grounded, less anxious, and better able to handle daily stress. And when the mind is calm, the body follows. This harmony is exactly what you need to prevent those sudden nighttime awakenings and build a sleep routine that actually restores you. This mineral is not a miracle cure, but for many, it's the missing link that completes the picture. And when combined with the right dietary habits and evening routine, it can make a significant difference in how you sleep and how you feel the next day. Still, there's one final piece left, the part where everything comes together. And it's not just about what to avoid or what to include. It's about how to time, combine, and prepare each of these steps to maximize their natural benefits. Without this final guidance, even well-meaning changes can fall short, or worse, create new imbalances. That's why what comes next is not only the most important step, it's the one that brings lasting results safely and effectively. Don't miss it. This is the moment where everything we've talked about comes together. Because now that you've seen how food, drink, and mineral balance can dramatically influence your sleep and nighttime bathroom trips, it's time to put it all into action in a way that's not just effective, but sustainable. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to fix sleep issues is doing the right things, but in the wrong way or at the wrong time. Let's start with your evening routine. To reduce bladder stimulation and support a full night of uninterrupted rest, your last full meal should be finished at least 3 hours before bedtime. This gives your digestive system the time it needs to process the meal, regulate fluid retention, and settle before sleep. That dinner should be light, low in sodium, and centered on whole, natural foods. Think steamed vegetables, a small portion of lean protein, and potassium-rich sides like sweet potatoes or avocado. Avoid processed sauces, salty snacks, or sugary condiments during this final meal. If you need a small evening snack, go for a banana, a few almonds, or a bit of plain Greek yogurt with no sweeteners. These options provide nutrients that help relax your muscles and support calm digestion without irritating your bladder or spiking your insulin levels. Hydration is still important, but how you hydrate matters. Instead of drinking a large amount of water all at once in the evening, sip steadily throughout the day. By spacing out your intake and finishing your last glass of water about 60 to 90 minutes before bed, you're giving your body time to process it fully before you lie down. This is also the perfect time to introduce a calming herbal tea, caffeine-free, of course. Chamomile, lemon balm, and passion flower are excellent choices. They not only soothe your nervous system, but also promote natural diuresis earlier in the evening, preventing the need to urinate in the middle of the night. Now remember that bonus I mentioned? Here it is, a simple, natural magnesium water you can make at home to support your mineral balance throughout the day. All you need is 1 liter of filtered water and 1 teaspoon of high-quality magnesium chloride powder. Mix well and sip small amounts in the morning and early afternoon, not at night. This gentle approach can help replenish your magnesium stores, calm your nervous system, and relax your bladder muscles, all essential for restful sleep. The timing here is crucial. Drinking this magnesium water too close to bedtime can actually disrupt your sleep rather than support it. Your body needs time to absorb and integrate minerals, which is why earlier in the day works best. If you've been following along, you now have a complete, natural strategy to stop those frustrating nighttime awakenings and build a sleep routine that truly restores. But more than that, you've taken a powerful step toward reclaiming your energy, your mood, and your quality of life. The body doesn't need extremes. It needs rhythm. It needs consistency, care, and attention to the small things that add up. And the beauty is that once you implement these habits, your body starts to respond, often more quickly than you expect. Within days, you might notice deeper sleep, fewer interruptions, and a sense of balance you may not have felt in a long time. Let this be your reminder. You are not stuck with poor sleep or disrupted nights. With knowledge, patience, and small, consistent actions, change is absolutely possible. And you've already proven you're willing to take that step by being here. If this message helped you, consider sharing it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to keep learning simple, effective ways to take control of your health naturally, make sure to subscribe and stay connected. Your well-being is worth investing in, and every night of good rest is a return on that investment. Let your next one be peaceful, uninterrupted, and truly restorative.